Here are some questions. What important lesson have you learned from a family member? An important lesson I learned from a family member came from my father, and it was about being comfortable with who you are. My father never cared about dressing properly. He didn't buy his shirts in summer and always wearing simple tengue and sleepers. Even though we were from northern China, where people usually dress more formally and rarely wear sleepers outside. At first, I tried to persuade him to look more presentable, but later I realized his clothing choices reflected something deeper. He didn't chase material things, and he had the confidence to dress freely without worrying about other people's opinions. The kind of simplicity and self-assurance earned him, earned him real respect from others, not fancy clothes. After he passed away, this lesson stayed with me. Now I don't stress about dressing perfectly as long as I'm clean and appropriate. I value the freedom to choose what feels right for me. This lesson is significant because it taught me to live more confidently and authentically. Describing an object that is very special in my life. An object that is very special in my life is a small copper water nozzle the pigs used to drink from. It might sound unusual, but it is the only item that survived all the changes my family went through. My family moved many times because of urban development. We used to live in an old courtyard, but after the city was rebuilt, we moved into a new apartment building. During those moves, we didn't keep many objects, nothing like my family heirlooms or traditional items that get passed down. One day, while sorting through old boxes, I found this copper water nozzle. It reminded me that my family once raised the pigs to make a living. It represents a part of our history that's simply but honest. And it tells me where we came from. I value this object because it carries the memory of my life, of my family's past, and their hard work. Even though we don't have many material things, this little piece of metal holds our history. The event in my life made me very happy. One event that made me truly happy was a moment when I was reading Jean Christophe by Romain Rolland. There's a sense where Christophe, after going through a lot of frustration and loneliness, suddenly finds a sense of inner strength and decides to keep pursuing music no matter what. When I read this moment, it felt like something lit up inside me. His determination and honesty made me feel understood, as if someone finally put into words the struggles and dreams many people experienced but can't express clearly. I feel happy because the scene gave me a kind of emotional energy. And it reminded me that even when life feels heavy and confusing, there's still a path forward if you keep moving. The realization was comforting and inspiring at the same time. So even though it was just a moment in the book, but it became a memorable and uplifting experience for me. The place where I want to go for rest or relaxation. The place where I go for rest and relaxation is simply my bed at home. It might sound ordinary, but for me, it's the most comfortable and peaceful place in the world. First, it's the only space where I can completely shut out my mind. When I lie down on my bed, I feel safe, warm, and totally free from pressure. I can listen to music, watching videos, or just close my eyes and do nothing. That kind of mental quiet is hard to find outside. Second, staying at home helps me recover both physically and emotionally. Traveling to places like Hainan or Yunnan might look relaxing, but honestly, it takes time and costs money, and sometimes it feels tiring. my bed, on the other hand, is always there for me whenever I need a break. And yeah, so my bed isn't just furniture; it is a place where I reset myself and feel completely relaxed. What famous person I would like to visit for an hour? If I could visit a famous person for an hour, I would choose Bob Marley, the legendary reggae musician. Even though he passed away long ago, his music still reaches people all over the world. And I have always felt inspired by the spirit behind these songs. The main reason I like to meet him is that his music carries powerful messages about peace, freedom, and staying true to yourself. I would love to ask him how he found the courage to speak for his community, especially during difficult political times. If I had an hour with him, I'd talk about his creative process, how he wrote his lyrics, and where his melody came from, and what he was thinking when he made his most influential sounds. I'd also want to ask how he balanced fame with his personal beliefs. Spending 1 hour with Bob Marley will be meaningful because his music continues to shape the way I understand art, culture, and expression. My favorite toy when I was a child. Um, my favorite toy from childhood wasn't really a toy I owned, but a toy car that I always wanted. Back then, battery-powered cars were extremely popular among toys, and everyone in my neighborhood had one except me. I asked my parents for it, but they couldn't buy it. What made it important was what my father said to me. He told me he would make a handmade wooden car with a real motor for me, and he described it in such a detail that I could almost imagine driving it. Even though he never actually built it, the promise stayed in my mind. It made me feel careful, and it became a special memory between us. So even though I didn't have many toys, the imagined toy car was meaningful because it represented my father's love and my childhood dreams. Describe a person that I admire. A person I admire is Bob Marley, actually, the legendary reggae musician. To be honest, I don't admire many people in my life, but I really respect him for the way he used the music to influence the world. First, I admire him because his song believe in expressing truth through art. Even though he grew up in a tough environment, he kept writing songs about peace, freedom, and human dignity. His music wasn't just entertainment, it carried a message, and that inspires me a lot. Second, his dedication to this craft also impresses me. He didn't have fancy training, but he kept creating music that connected with people around the world. When I listen to the songs, I feel motivated and more confident in my own creative path. So even if I don't admire many people, I admire Bob Marley for the impact of his music and the spirit behind his work. What new skill I would like to learn? I would really like to learn how to make beats using a DAW like Logic Pro or FL Studio. I don't have any music theory background and I can play any instruments, but computer software can help me to create a music I imagine. This skill would be great for me because making music makes me feel calm and focused. Listening to music has always been one of my favorite hobbies, and learning to making beats feels like a natural next step. It will also train my ear, improve my musical taste, and give me a new way to express myself. Overall, I think learning a new skill that I truly enjoy will make my life more meaningful and creative. All right, thank you. This is my self introduction, I would say. Peace.